The floor is lava! No! Guys, let's talk about cornering. And what I want to talk about is I saw a flame war on somebody else's video, and I want to comment on it, but I'm gonna make a video about it, obviously, and not actually talk to those people because I don't know who those people are and I don't care. But they were arguing about taking corners and whatnot and what to do in the corner. And well, a lot of guys started going back and forth about breaking through a turn, and they were saying, there were some people, you know, just being obnoxious, saying, "Oh, you gotta slam on your front brake at the turn, yeah, that's how you do it," and all this bullshit. And a lot of people actually really seem to believe that you're not supposed to touch your brake at all in the turn. And I will say that I don't usually do it. However, there is a method referred to as trail braking, which I've mentioned a little bit before. And trail braking is using your brakes through the turn. And what you do, what it's supposed to do is help you stabilize the bike, because that's what your back brake does, is it helps stabilize the bike, right? So what you do is when you go into the turn, instead of letting off the throttle or anything like that, you start adjusting your speed and whatnot using the back brake, or even the front brake. I don't like using the front brake at all, though. I mean, it's trail braking, it should be the back brake, but the back brake. And you could watch, there are like official MotoGP videos and TT videos where they show you like how much throttle and how much brake the rider's using, and you can actually see them doing it through the turns, where the brakes suddenly spikes up a little bit in the turn while the throttle's still going, and that's trail braking. I personally, however, when I first started riding, got tipped off to watch Twist of the Wrist by Keith Code, who's a former racer, and his method of turning, his method of cornering, which is the one I use, it involves no braking at all. Well, no braking in the corner at all. His method is what I believe everybody thinks of, is when you're going into a corner, you need to decide before you get there where in the turn you're going to go into, so like what angle you're going to take and how much speed you need to have to carry through the turn. So when you go into the turn, you've already decided your entry speed and your entry angle, and you're not going to change that. You're going to write it out, and as soon as you get on the throttle and almost die like I just did, hopefully you don't do that. As soon as you get on the throttle, you give a steady, steady roll on the throttle throughout the turn, where you accelerate at the apex out of the corner, which that method involves no braking. Now, the apex is where both techniques are the same. At the apex of the turn, both of them, you're supposed to accelerate out of the turn. So in trail braking, you completely remove braking at all, and in Keith Code's method, you just continue on the throttle. And the only reason I'm talking about this is because I saw that video, and I wanted to at least put something out there where you could see that braking in the turn will not kill you. It won't. But panic braking in the turn will. If you just like lock a brake in the turn, fuck yeah, you're going down. If you lock a brake doing anything, you might go down. And actually, just to cover that real fast for you guys, the tips of what you do when you lock a brake. If you lock your front brake, what the BRC taught me was that you have half of a second to release it. You have literally half a second to release your front brake before you can expect to high side. What they'll also teach you, or at least what mine taught me, was that if you lock your back brake, that usually you should just ride it out. You just hold it until you stop, and then apply the front brake and stop the bike. What the ARC taught me was that when you lock the back brake and you swing out, because you're gonna skid a little bit when you do that. When you skid, all you have to do is wait for the bike to realign, right? Because that's the first thing you're thinking of, is realigning. As soon as the bike realigns, release the back brake and the bike will just be fine. You'll just go like normal. But if you release the back brake while you're in a curve or whatever you want to call it, a skid, you're probably you might actually high side, but you're probably gonna low side it. So I just want to cover that since I mentioned locking the braking. But anyway, so yeah, using your brakes in a turn is legitimate. It is a racing technique or an advanced technique, whatever you want to call it. I'm not saying that I'm super special because I know how to do it and I know that it exists. I'm simply putting it out there that if somebody talks about breaking through a turn and you immediately think they're a moron and stop listening to them, that you're in the wrong. And you should reevaluate what you know or what you think you know. A lot of kids been waving at me today. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. So yeah, guys, yeah, that was my quick little spiel on corners and on the fact that trail braking is a thing. And I would like to know, because a lot of you are more experienced than I am, or have more experience, or maybe more experience, whatever. A lot of you are riders too, motherfucker. And I just want to know what you guys think about trail braking. Do you use it? Did you know it existed before I started rambling about it in this weird video? And yeah, I want to know y'all's opinion on it. Which method do you subscribe to for cornering?